Increasingly, we are seeing hacking attacks happen all over the world. We just saw the Russian military satellites get hacked the other day, but now we're seeing today new reports of the Japanese port of Nagoya, which is a major hub for Toyota vehicles being shipped overseas. It is the largest port in Japan, hacked. We're seeing one of these hacks after the next, and we need to be ready for these things. This is going to impact your life sooner or later, and probably, if things seem to be going the way they're going, sooner is going to happen to you as well. Let's jump into it, folks. I'm Steve Poplar, and welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm an accountant by trade, and we get into the stories and get back into the information that maybe you're not hearing from mainstream media sources. If you hate the mainstream media, please hit that thumbs up button to let us know how much you don't like them. So on this channel, we're looking at lots of different data points. And one of the things I've been noticing recently is that if you just go into Google News, and you just type in hacked, you're going to see that there are so many hacking attacks that have happened even in the last couple of weeks that aren't being talked about, that aren't making it into the news. Like I said, the largest port in Japan was shut down, and they're hoping to restart it today, but who knows? The largest port in Japan, 10% of their exports go through that port every year. We saw just in the last 2 weeks, we saw Louisiana and Oregon were hacked. Their driver's licenses were all leaked onto the internet. Everyone's driver's license identification number, addresses, all that stuff available on the dark web. That's big news, folks. And we're seeing this increasing use of state-sponsored hacking as a weapon, a tool that's being used because we basically said that it's not an actual attack. It's different than soldiers crossing a border and attacking someone. We've allowed China to hack different places like the Colonial Pipeline. And we just see one hack after the next happening. We've just seen that supposedly in retribution to some of these states stopping people from mutilating little children, passing laws on that. We're seeing satellite systems related to companies based in those states being attacked. That was 2 days ago. Did you hear about that anywhere else? Do you hear about school after school after school is being hacked and children's information is being leaked out there? What kind of drugs they're on, what their grades are. We're just seeing we're seeing addiction clinics. That's today. That's a news story from today. An addiction clinic was hacked, and all that information was leaked. We have another state government in the last day hacked by gay furries. I don't even know what that's about, but this is just case in point. When we look through all that's happening, and then we talk about what the threats are out there as we automate our vehicles. Electric vehicles charging. Now we say that, well, they can't hack into the power plants because there's such good buffers and the systems are so protected from hacking. What about when everyone plugs in their EVs? We've already shown that Teslas and other electric vehicles can be hacked, and they're drawing a tremendous amount of power from the power grid. What happens when somebody's hacked a whole bunch of these cars and they start systematically pulling power from the power grid at intervals in such a way to attempt to collapse the power grid? Never thought about that, did we? Because you can't attack the grid directly, supposedly, though I think that may be a little bit overstated. When we look at the United States using digital weapons hacking weapons to attack Iranian centrifuges that were air-gapped off the internet, somehow those centrifuges were hacked. They weren't even plugged into the internet. How did that happen? And we see some of these digital warfare tools were leaked out onto the internet a couple years back. That was the NSA. They had their, what was it called? Eternal Blue digital weapon was dropped on the internet. Someone hacked it and dropped it or leaked it. And cyber warfare criminals now and state-sponsored hacking terrorists have access to this tool now, which they can modify and use for their own ends. And that was not the only digital tool that came out at that time. We saw numerous other basically hacking nuclear weapons out there that suddenly got released into the public. And we've seen those over the past number of years, iterations and new variations of those weapons have been used by civilians as well as other countries. This is serious stuff. As we become more and more hackable because of the reliance we have upon technology, go back 30, 40 years and you look at the reliance we had upon the electric grid, cell phone towers. We didn't have cell phones 20, 30 years ago, right? So if the cell phone towers went down, no big deal. If everyone's telephones went down for a day or two, I mean, that would have been inconvenient, but it wouldn't have been the end of the world. What happens if all the internet goes out for a couple days? You're going to see a lot of people inside the United States and other countries lose their minds. Do you have a city prepper was just recently talking about backing up your downloading digital files, like downloading all of Wikipedia onto a flash drive or an SD card so that you can have access to essentially the information you have at your fingertips right now if the power grid, if the internet goes down. Those are things that we need to be thinking about, but how reliant are we on information? How many people still have paper maps? A lot of people use GPS to get everywhere. GPS without the internet, how well does that work? Do you have the maps downloaded for your area onto your phone so that you can still use the GPS device in your phone if there's no internet? Because I think a lot of people are going to find out real fast that their phone's GPS still works, but their Google Maps does not, because they haven't downloaded those files. They haven't downloaded those maps. Simple things like that, but yet then expanded out to over 300 million people inside the United States, growing daily from all the people flooding across the border. And we see that we have become so reliant upon the internet. All of our defense agencies, all of our social medias, all of our everything seems to be based around the internet. It has become our center, our central god, really, our idol, that if this sacred thing were to be toppled or attacked, how would people respond? What would people do? Their purpose in life will have gone. People who talk on the YouTubes frequently, what would I do with all that free time? I don't know. I don't know. I have plenty of stuff to get done, so I would find plenty of stuff to do. But a lot of people wouldn't know what to do. A lot of people aren't growing anything. A lot of people don't have stuff to get done around the house. We all have things that we need to be thinking about, but we are all vulnerable. Our data is vulnerable. We do need to kind of watch, where is our data, who has our data, and have they been hacked recently? It's a scary but brave new world that we live in. Our world has changed, and it has made our lives easier, but if we become soft because of it, we become more vulnerable as well. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. If you want check out our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They do a fantastic job helping people move out of stocks and bonds into gold, silver, and platinum in their retirement accounts. And you can just go to their website and get some more information from them there. Thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.